God, in all of His love, He is consistently always there for us, and He consistently always directs us in every single way of our journey. However, we may not always be aware of His providence, and that is one thing that I want to speak of and share about the providence of God. And it's not something, it's not like we don't always experience God's providence in our life, because He truly cares and directs us in every single step of the journey. However, we may not always be in tune with how much He cares and how much He directs our path, and how much He is basically supremely, divinely orchestrates everything just for our good, as the Bible says that He works up everything for the good of those who love God and those who are called according to His purpose. So one time I was on this fast, and I decided that I was gonna come home. Well, previously I did plan that I wanted to come home so that I could wash, etc., etc. But during the week and during the fast, I was like, I am not feeling it. I was definitely, that fast really did a number on me, and I was like, God, I don't think I have the energy, the time. Well, not really the time, but really the energy to do the washing, to do the laundry anymore. But when I got home, I said, you know what? Let me just go ahead and check the washing machine to see if I could possibly do some washing. Perhaps my attitude may change, and then I may decide to go ahead and wash the clothes. And lo and behold, when I went outside to check the washing machine, boom! I opened the washing machine. Now, first of all, where I live, we have a water issue where we frequently have no water. So we always have to ensure that we have a reserve for whenever we have no water. And usually, like during the daytime, that is our issue. So I decided, you know what, I don't want to deal with that stress. I'm already tired from the fast. And I am like, Lord, you need to help me. But I decided, you know what, let me just go ahead and just check the washing machine, and maybe the Lord will give me the strength. Maybe the Lord will give me the strength to do the washing, if that's His will for my life. And when I went outside to check the washing machine, lo and behold, I saw that the washing machine was filled with water. So not only, like, because of the water issue, my mother would fill up the washing machine with water during the night, so that if in case anybody may need to wash, do laundry during the next day, then we would have water available. But that day, what I found out after discussing with her later was that she didn't fill the washing machine with water. But when I got home, I came home before everybody. So I did the washing and everything. Well, as a matter of fact, it was so filled to the brim. The washing machine was so filled up that it was impossible for me to use the washing machine and not remove some water, because it was too much. I had more than enough water. And so I took pails, buckets, and I decided to scoop water out of the washing machine until I had just the required amount that I needed to wash the clothes, because I was not going to do a whole bunch of washing. It was just a small batch, which would reduce the amount that I would have to do later on during the week. And then, lo and behold, there's water for me available, which was like so amazing. And I did not have to stress or burden myself, because not only that we had the water issue, but we also didn't have much water stored in our drums and in our tanks. So what I did, I poured out the water, I scooped out everything that I needed to scoop out, and then I say scoop. I took a pail, a small bucket, and I filled it, and I filled my other buckets until I had enough, and then I decided to wash. Then I decided to go ahead and put it in the dryer, because what we have is a manual washing machine due to the water issue. And then what happened was that when I opened the dryer, bam, I'm like, my mother, so I'm thinking that my mother didn't just fill up the washing section of the washing machine, but also the spinner. So the spinner and the washing machine section, washer, I should say, is filled with water. They are both filled with water. And I'm like, why did she do that? I was like literally upset, because now not only did I have to empty out the washer section, but I had to get pails enough to also scoop out the water that was in the spinner because I needed it to spin the clothes because it allows the clothes, of course, to dry faster. So I had to then find additional pails to clean out that spinner so that I could put my clothes in there for it to spin. And I began to just think about the situation at hand. You know, like when you're in a situation and you're like, okay, God, tell me why exactly am I in this situation? What can I learn from this? What exactly is going on? And I began to think about the providence of God and his care for us. And I'm like, God cared about me so much that I was on a fast. I was tired and already I wanted to quit. And it was interesting. I wanted to quit the fast because it was really pulling a lot for me. But I didn't want to, I was not desiring to eat. I just wanted to stop the fast. And then I decided, and then coming home from being tired and exhausted from the fast because I'm working, and then to finding that the washing machine is filled with water, which means that I now have to do extra work because I'm already weak and tired. I now have to empty out the washing machine just to wash some clothes. But then I began to think about it. I'm like, but Donna, like, look at this. Like, seriously, the Lord provided water for you that you don't have to now source water outside, well, from the drums and from our other storage of water, but the water was stored right in the exact area where I needed the washing machine, where I needed to wash the clothes inside of the washing machine, and there were excess. There was more than enough water that I needed to wash the clothes, and I was upset because I am thinking that it's my mother who did it, and now I have to do all that work, and then not only the washer but the spinner, and I'm already upset. And then speaking with her later, I found out that it wasn't in fact her who filled the washing machine. And it wasn't my sister. And I don't think that it was my dad. So most likely what happened was that the pipe was open. So the pipe that connects to the washing machine must have, just thinking about it from a human perspective, it must have been the pipe was open and then the water came during the night, which filled up the washing machine, and because the washer was filled, it automatically fills the spinner, the next area that is available to fill up water. But then, so I say, well, okay, well, that's interesting. That it's a manual washing machine and it filled up, but it filled up to the brim and it knew exactly where to stop. So there's no overflow, and the rest of the water went into the other section of the machine. And the same thing happened. So I went to check the pipe. And the pipe was closed. So I'm like, okay, well then this have to be a supernatural working of the Holy Spirit. And even if it was open during the night, the pipe was open during the nighttime, then who would have closed it? So for me, that speaks about the goodness and the providence of God, that he will guide and he will provide and he will direct and he will do things in our life just to take care of us. So not only did he provide the water for me, knowing that the following day I was going to come home and I needed to wash clothes so that the water would be available, I didn't just have water to wash. There was excess water, which reminds me of the story of the lady and the prophet Elijah, who decided that, well, she needed help, and so she went to Elijah for help, and he blessed her. And I'm just trying to summarize the story. And then she went for her jars to fill it with oil, and then there was an overflow that she didn't have enough room to contain the blessing that the Lord provided. And there I am thinking that here I was complaining and being absolutely selfish, operating in my flesh and not realizing the providence of God, not realizing that this was God's divine provision for my life at that point in time, because he knew that I was going to be without strength. And he says that in our weakness, then he becomes strong. So that for me was the strength of God. God revealing himself as being sovereign in that situation. Whether or not the pipe was opened by someone, the person who woke up in the middle of the night to close the pipe. Because when I checked the pipe was closed. So for me, that was like, oh my God, like this is just so powerful and amazing how God does amazing things in our life, and how God moves in our life in every single moment of the day, but we may not even realize it because we're not paying attention, or we may be too busy or too much in our flesh that we don't recognize the providence of God. And God proved to me that He is good. That He is good, and He cares about my weakness. He cares about me being on the fast, and He provided the water for me. That was so amazing. And I thank God for His blessings. And I want you to also be encouraged that even when you may be in situations that seems, ridiculous and seems annoying, like being on a fast, being on a fast where you have to eat veggies after you break the fast because it's a raw fast, and it just seems difficult. I want you to, while you are doing that and you are sacrificing, like they say, that if you give God a sacrifice and it doesn't hurt you, then it's not a big sacrifice enough. So recognize the providence of God in your everyday life, because I'm telling you that He shows up in our everyday life. God provided not only water for me, because after I was done with my washing, there was water available for my mother and for my sister to use the pails of water that were available. The providence and the goodness of God. Never should we ever in our life not reflect on the goodness of God, because He's there every single day, every single moment of the day. His care and His direction is there. The question is, are we always willing to follow in the direction that He's leading us? Are we always open to see His care and His love for us? Because He is constantly moving and constantly doing amazing things for us.